Alright, hello everyone to today's gameplay stream. DSP here. How you doing? Hopefully you're doing well, and today's a little bit different than usual. Typically I start my stream around noonish. Today it's already past 1 p.m. But that is fine. The reason being is because today is a saucy day. Saucy Wednesday. Which I've never done before. I've never, done or made a pot of Italian sauce since I've lived here in Washington on Wednesday. Usually I do it on a Sunday when it's a slower time. There's nothing new going on. The reason being is because our schedule is thrown a little bit of whack this week. Leanna actually had to work this weekend, so we couldn't make the sauce then, and we're out. And we need sauce for many things. We make many different dishes with the Italian sauce that we make. It's a big batch that lasts about 2 months. So we wanted to do it, and we said we could squeeze it in today, and being that today we're going to be doing Street Fighter V stuff, okay, it'll be perfect. It'll be absolutely perfect, because every, 20 minutes or so, I can take a quick break to go stir the sauce, season the sauce, taste it, make sure it's coming out well, and go from there, alright? That's how today is going to be handled. So, what is today? It is Street Fighter V, and it is the release of Juri. She actually released yesterday in Street Fighter V, yesterday evening. Now, at that point, I didn't feel that I was going to have enough time to squeeze it in and be able to explore the character as much as I would like. The way that I usually do this is we're going to check out Juri in training mode, which means I'll try out all her special moves, see what combos she has, any viability, supers, etc. Then I'm going to take her into probably her story mode, which is very short. Then probably we'll go into trials. And check out her trials to see if we can find any advanced tactics and things with her from her trials. Then I'll probably make a run at survival mode, because as you know, if you beat survival mode, you unlock some colors, which I could use during the day. And then lastly, I will be playing online play. Yes, there will be online matchups with Juri. Now, sadly, for those who aren't aware, pretty much the entire fighting game community is up in arms. You might say, why? Why would they be up in arms? Well, it's because Juri, first of all, was a new character introduced in Super Street Fighter 4, okay? She was actually a new addition to the cast that people really liked and adopted and embraced. They're like, wow, a character with zoning, with projectiles, but also can be played very offensively. She's fast, she has high combo ability, and people also really liked the character design and her story. She actually became a fan favorite from the Street Fighter 4 line of games. So, of course, when it was announced that she was going to be a DLC character in Street Fighter V, everyone was like, wow, this is awesome. Capcom's listening to what the fans want. This is neat. One problem with it, though. Everyone who's played with her says she plays absolutely nothing like Street Fighter 4. They've taken out almost every single special move she had and replaced it with another one that's not nearly as good. She doesn't have the zoning game anymore. She doesn't have her high combo ability anymore. And basically, a lot of people are saying she's one of the worst characters in the game, if not the worst. Wow. Seriously. Wow. Holy crap. For real? Like, it's only been not even a full day. She hasn't even been released for a full day yet. And pretty much the entire community is collectively shitting all over the character, saying she's terrible. So, I don't know. I'm going to judge her for myself. I'm going to try her out in all these modes. I'm going to try her viability out online. We're going to see what happens, We're going to see. I don't know. I actually did like Juri a lot in Street Fighter 4. She was actually one of my favorite characters from that game. I never really got good enough to be like tournament level with her or anything like that. I did know some of her fun combos and stuff, but she seemed like she was very high execution, and you need to have a lot of matchup knowledge, which is one of the things I didn't have in Street Fighter 4 because I didn't play it as much as most other people who wanted to be competitive at the game. But I think she was a great character. So it actually makes me pretty disappointed if these rumors and everything everyone's saying is true. And if Juri actually is as bad as everyone is saying, that's going to be pretty upsetting. Not only for me, but I'm sure for everyone in the community who's going to finally play her. Especially because she's a DLC character, so you either need to use your very hard-earned in-game fight money or actually pay $6 to unlock the character. And, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. Okay? But the bottom line is, that's today. Now, I'm starting much later than usual, right? The stream has already started much later than usual. Don't worry, today is Saucy Wednesday. What does that mean? It means that I actually have to let my pot of Italian sauce simmer for an extended period of time. It actually won't be ready until between 4:30 to 5 p.m., meaning I still have around 3 to 3.5 hours here to just focus on Juri and play with her and try to figure stuff out with her, okay? So the bottom line is, it's even though the stream's starting later, it's going to run later, and therefore it actually will not be negatively affected by anything, really. Okay? It's going to be a typical stream, like usual. Now, tonight, I'm actually going to begin work on something special. Being that it is this midsummer, and there's not a lot going on in gaming right now. I realize that this week, leading into next week, until next week's new releases and the marathon that I'll be doing next week, that there's not a lot going on. I'm going to start working on a special video for KO Gaming. It's going to be a countdown video. I promised everyone that I was going to start to do countdowns, and I actually did the best and worst of E3 last month, but then I kind of got caught up with reviews and other stuff, and never got a chance to go back to any kind of countdown style video. The video is going to be my top gripes with modern gaming. And let me tell you, there are a lot of things about modern gaming that I feel should have already been improved, or in some cases they have been improved, but other people just keep going back to them. There's a lot of things like fads or patterns in modern gaming that piss me off. And that's what this countdown is going to be. My personal picks for my big gripes with modern gaming. So that should be a fun one. Now, I'm not going to have that tonight for you. I'll probably work on that tonight and maybe release it tomorrow. So we'll see, but I'm going to do some work on that tonight and maybe give you a little preview on social media about, you know, how I'm doing with it and what kind of stuff I'm coming up with. So, a countdown for KO Gaming this week. Something different. Alright. Tomorrow, ladies and gents, Persona 3 on stream. And I know not a lot of people are too crazy about it. It's been an ongoing playthrough now since March. I'm going to be doing a full stream of Persona 3 tomorrow. And that'll be a normal stream, normal time. Okay, it's not going to be weird times like today. And it should be fun. I'm excited for it because we're in the end game. We're actually very near the end of the game. And within a couple streams, I should be finishing up with Persona 3. Hopefully, maybe sometime this weekend or early next week, I'll be finishing up the game after 2 or 3 more streams. I should be able to, you know, sufficiently play enough. I've got a few other things I may be doing too. I'm considering doing more Overwatch this weekend because I'm just having a ton of fun playing the game, and I had a lot of fun with the expansion patch that came out last weekend, and I may want to do more of that this weekend. I actually may be able to play a beta of a game, which is kind of cool. I don't really want to talk a little bit about that yet until I'm confirmed that it works, okay? But we'll see. We'll see how everything goes. And so that'll lead us into next week, the first week of August, when there will be new games, a fun Sonic Marathon, yada, yada, yada. All right. So there you have it. That's how everything's going to be working. Sorry that today's stream did start late, but hopefully if you like Street Fighter V and you want to see this new character, you will see. You will see if she's any good today. Should be an interesting, different kind of stream. Whenever I do a fighting game stream like this, it certainly turns out much different than a normal one, that's for sure. Alright? So what else? Not much else is going on with me right now. But we are very closely approaching the end of the month. If you're not aware, there's only 4 days left in July. Alright? And that means that finally this slow month will come to an end. Once August hits, we'll have all kinds of new stuff going on, and hopefully we can get interest back into all my stuff. The problem was July was such a slow freaking month for game releases that it was incredibly hard to retain viewership when you're just playing older games or downtime games or redoing a playthrough like I did with Resident Evil 5. You know, people have seen that before, and it's hard to say, oh, you know, please come out and check me out and watch me play this game that's 100 years old and that I've already played before. You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting when August hits and all the new stuff's coming out to see people reinvigorated. I'm sure we're going to see people coming back that I haven't seen in a while now, because they only come for the new stuff, and that's kind of how it works on YouTube. The more new games, the more stuff going on, the more opportunity there is for fun stuff going on here on my streams and my channels and everything. So August, I think, will be good. July was slow. Thank goodness things will be picking up shortly. Alright, so I think what we'll do here, I'm going to go through my gratuitous plug segment, and then I'm going to probably go stir the sauce again quickly, and then I'm probably going to start right away with the training mode with Juri and go from there. Alright? The one thing I do want to say, the most important thing today to talk about is Patreon, because there's only 4 days left in July. 4 days left in July. And right now, we are not close to hitting the Patreon goal. For the first time ever, we're actually pretty far away from it. Not as much so as Patreon says. My actual Patreon page, if you go to patreon.com/darksidephil, says that we're like $400 off. That's completely wrong. I believe we're actually off by around $200 to $250. The problem is the Patreon page reflects false bids, like false pledges, but I've done away with false pledges by changing the way that it works and charging people up front when they pledge, so anyone who would have made a false pledge didn't make one this month. Therefore, the page still reflects that, but the change kind of eliminated that. So, it's kind of weird, alright? It's kind of weird. It's hard to explain. The bottom line is, we're hundreds of dollars away from hitting the goal. What is the goal this month? The goal this month is the return of the Patron's Choice playthrough, alright? This has always been successful. People have always done this and wanted to see it, and every playthrough I've done that's been Patron's Choice has been a fun one and an ongoing one. And I would definitely like to see what patrons would like to see me play. This, if we do hit the goal, it's going to be in early September when there's almost no new releases this year. I'm going to start up a game with Patron's Choice and go from there, okay? But we got a lot of ground to make up in 4 days. Now, typically, this is what happens. Typically, at the end of the month, a lot of people either have these false pledges that they remove, or people who pledged a big amount last month will say, well, I can't do that this month, and they'll lower their pledge. Now, the good news is, most people have already done that. I kept a close eye on my Patreon over the month of July, and most people who did big pledges last month already have reduced them. So I don't think we're going to see a dip in what's been pledged on my Patreon this month. What I think we're going to hopefully see is last minute some people saying, well, it looks like, you know, Phil's not at the goal yet. I think I'll pledge now because I want to see the Patron's Choice playthrough happen. So hopefully within the next few days, we'll see a bunch of people collectively pledge, and we'll hit the goal. I've hit the goal every single month since I did Patreon, starting in February of 2015, and it's been fun. It's been a great ride. I love doing all these different goals, but the bottom line is, if we don't hit the funding goal, I can't do the event. If I just did the event every month without the funding goal, then there would be no motivation to pledge. There would be no reason to do the goal, right? That's the whole point of having goal rewards on Patreon. So, if you haven't pledged yet, if you're consider pledging, please consider doing so. You only have 4 days left. It's by midnight. As you can see here, midnight on July. Actually, this is wrong. I'm looking at this. This is wrong. There's 31 days in July. This is 30. So this is actually incorrect. There's actually 4 days left to pledge. It's not by July 30th. It's midnight by July 31st. I just realized the typo on this card. But there's still time, alright? If you like my streams, you like my free on-demand videos, you like what I've done with KO Gaming this year, you like the vlogging style that I've done this year, you like the changes that I've actively made to everything, and you want to see it continue to be successful, please consider pledging. And of course, there's personal perks that you get for pledging too. It's not just like, oh, I'm only contributing to this group goal, but I don't care about the Patron's Choice. No, you get personal things such as text and verbal thank yous, getting your questions answered on Ask the King, getting premium forum access, and participation in voting. Right now, patrons from last month are voting on an upcoming Sonic Marathon, although it looks like overwhelmingly it's going to be Sonic 2006. Okay. And you also could maybe even get a private Q&A video made. Most people have absolutely loved the private... Actually, I say most. Every person who's gotten a private Q&A video made has told me that they loved it. So there you have it. Alright, everyone. So, Patreon is important. Please consider pledging. It's an essential part of my income, and it allows me to do this full time. Besides Patreon, there are many other ways you can help, including following me on Twitter, @TheyCallMeDSP, including checking out all the videos that I put up on KO Gaming. In fact, there was a new one last night, because yesterday, I played We Happy Few on the Xbox Game Preview program for a little bit over an hour, and I actually kind of condensed that gameplay into an edited 10-minute video where I talked about the game and let you know exactly how the gameplay is, at least now in this early alpha build. And it was a lot of fun. I hope that you people who checked out that video are enjoying it. I have not actually even had a chance to take a look at it to see you know, how many people have watched it or even read the comments yet. But hopefully people are enjoying that, and I'm going to continue to make videos like that for KO Gaming. As I already mentioned in this pre-stream, I'm going to be doing a countdown of my top gripes with modern gaming this week. So definitely check out KO Gaming if you haven't yet, alright? Of course, there's my vlogging channel, The King of Hate Vlogs. This week I put out a special video this weekend regarding identity theft. Things that have happened to me in regards to identity theft. So I recommend you check that out when you get the chance. And later this week, there will be a new episode of DSP Tries It. I want to clarify that because I haven't had one in several weeks. There will be one this week, alright? And then last but certainly not least, my girlfriend Leanna owns her own business. It's called The Black Current, where she sells handmade glycerin soaps and wax tart melts, and she's in the middle of a big sale, if you're not aware. She has a summer sale going on right now. So, you know, if you go to her shop, which you can see right here, it's etsy.com/shop/The Black Current, and you use the code SUMMERSALE20, that's SUMMERSALE20, for any order of $10 or more, you will get 20% off your order. 1/5, that's a big chunk. So if you've been thinking about possibly buying something from her shop, haven't had a chance yet, or just haven't gotten around to it, now's the time. It's time to take advantage of these kind of discount codes that come. And, you know, she doesn't do this all the time. She does it every other month or something like that, so it's not often. So now would be the time to jump on. And, you know, she is looking for a few more orders this month to reach kind of her. She has a monthly, it's not a necessary one, but she has a kind of a soft quota of what she likes to hit every month, and she's a few orders away. So please check that out again, etsy.com/shop/The Black Current. Alright? Alright, everyone, so what I will do is end the pre-stream. I'm going to go stir the sauce, and then I'm going to begin here with... My phone's glitching out on me. My phone vibrated. I checked it. It's giving me errors. There's no errors, stupid thing. And then I'm going to start with Juri. We're going to go into training mode. I'm going to try out all her special moves, try to do combos and stuff, and go from there, alright? Thank you, everyone, for being here. Give me a brief moment to go stir the sauce, and then we're going to begin with Juri in Street Fighter V. Alright.